welcome to today's video. So if you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I do videos on motherhood, lifestyle, family vlogs, and travel. And so if you are interested in content like that, please be sure to subscribe and hit the like button for more content. So if you haven't guessed, this video is a full and honest review of the Larktale caravan stroller wagon, I guess version 2, the 2023 model. So just like a quick little bit of history. I had been wanting a stroller wagon for some time. Now it was kind of hard because I couldn't really justify it because we do only have our one daughter or one toddler, and it kind of seemed like unnecessary, especially because we have a regular stroller, we have our compact stroller for traveling and such. But I was finally kind of able to convince my husband to allow us to get a stroller wagon because I knew that there were times where we have gone out and my girl just didn't want to stay in the stroller, and it just would have been so much easier if we could have had like a stroller wagon or something where she would have felt like it was more fun and she had more freedom to do things like within the confined space that could move. Does that make sense? Like, you know, because like when you're in a stroller, you know, you only have so much space, especially when you are a toddler, like kind of, you don't have like as much room as you did before. So like if we were out at like, let's say like some sort of food festival, because we have gone to a couple of those, she could easily just comfortably sit inside the stroller wagon. She could have her activities and snacks, whatever, and we could freely move about. Or if we're just sitting down, she has a comfortable place to like chill out. So with all that said, we purchased the Larktale caravan stroller wagon back in May of this year. And so far, we have thoughts. So I'm going to kind of start with the pros and cons. And then as we kind of get into it, I will also share the accessories that we use with the stroller wagon. And then at the end kind of give like a final conclusion. Okay, so starting with the pros. First of all, it's a beautiful stroller wagon. Like just like visually, I love the look of it. And it's so spacious. It is huge. A little too huge? I don't know, but we'll go into that when we go into that. But it's well made. It's easy to like fold up and unfold, like very clear on how to do things. The only thing that this is my mistake, but the only thing that wasn't clear for some reason was the recline option on the seats. And thankfully, somebody from Larktale actually reached out to me after watching my unboxing video, which I will link here if you have not seen it, and advised me the correct way to do it. And honestly, I probably should have just read the instructions because I am that person that will sometimes just go and just try to get things done. So anyway, with the correction made, the recline is very easy to do. Super like simple, like no fuss, no muss, very easy to do. So yeah, in terms of the space, which I had just previously mentioned, yeah, ton of space. Like my toddler has so much room inside of there, and there's space for activities and her to stretch out her legs. She can even lay down across it. And we can also put stuff in it. So there's plenty of room to put like our bags or whatever else that we're bringing with us for that day, and it all kind of fits. And luckily the wagon can handle it very well. It can handle all that weight, and it's still very easy to maneuver and steer and all that good stuff. So big positive for that. The next kind of positive is, even though it is a larger stroller wagon, it folds up fairly well considering how big it is. Now, and we'll kind of touch on this a little bit more in like when we get to the cons, but yeah, it folds up very easily, very well, and it does fit in the trunk of a smaller SUV, which is, well, I don't know if we have like a smaller one, but we don't have a huge SUV, and it fits. I cannot speak to a like just a sedan trunk, but you know, I would imagine for that you just kind of have to look at the specs, because unfortunately we do not have a sedan and I've never tested it, so sorry. Now in terms of maneuverability on different landscapes, is that the word? So clearly on like pavement, you know, just flat level ground works beautifully. It handles like a dream. In gravel, it actually handled pretty well. I was surprised. It had my toddler and our gear, and it pushed fairly easily. Like there was no like heavy lifting, heavy pushing, none of that. So that was really nice. On the grass, it worked pretty well also. I only had my toddler and like our like bag like of stuff, like my mom bag. So it wasn't a ton of like weight in it, but still it pushed pretty well, and I was able to easily maneuver. There was even like a little hill I could like go up and down on. So yeah, it worked well. Sand. So I was able to push it empty in the sand, and I tested it at like a playground. So I didn't test it at like a beach sand, but you know, sand to sand. I was able to push it empty. So as in my toddler was not in there. I don't think I could have done it if anything was in the stroller wagon. So I did have to kind of use the pull action. And unfortunately, this version of the caravan does not come with like the pull attachment, but it's fine. You can actually just use like that handlebar at the other end and you can pull it and it works. So with sand, you will have to treat this like a regular wagon and have to use the pull motion, because pushing it just won't work. Okay, so some of the negatives. So a positive I said was how spacious the wagon is. Well, that is also unfortunately a con. Because of how big and how heavy it is not something you can travel with. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't want to. Because on the one hand, let's say you're flying somewhere and you wanted to take the wagon with you, you have to check the wagon in. So that's like a risk in itself, because it could get lost, it could get damaged, this, that, and whatever. So that's one thing. And then on the, you know, to add on to that, since you cannot gate check it, you cannot take it with you through the airport. So if like you were trying to kind of use it as a way to like take through all of like your bags and then your kids and all that stuff, you wouldn't be able to do that. So just something to keep in mind, you know, if you're gonna do the traveling with this particular stroller wagon, it has to be local, or, you know, not that it has to be, but it's most likely going to be local, like just with your car or just around, like walking around like your neighborhood or something. Something, not necessarily a con, but just maybe like a wish. So there is a lovely basket in the front of the wagon, like a storage basket, and it has like a zippered like bottom where you could like put like dirty shoes or wet clothes or something so that it doesn't mess up the interior. I kind of wish this was on the back of the wagon, like where you steer. One, because it would be nice to just have like a place to put like your bag, like whatever bag you're taking, because usually if you're out with kids, you're gonna have some sort of backpack or mom bag or diaper bag or something. I wish that was on the back, only because it would just be nice to be able to just reach into it as, you know, we're walking or whatever. There is like that console like system, like with pockets and stuff in the back of the wagon, but it's a little low. Like it's not something that as you're walking you can easily like reach and grab that well, at least for me. So I do kind of wish, instead of like all those different compartments, we had that like basket in the back. But otherwise the basket's great, by the way. Like if I didn't mention, like you know, I said that you can fit lots of things in the stroller wagon, that having that basket is so nice. So another con is the cup holders are a little bit useless. So maybe it might be okay if you just had like a regular water bottle, or like a small, like maybe like a coffee or something, because it does kind of hang, so it like self balances, is I think it's what it's called. I've never had any use for it, and the thing that annoys me is that it easily pops on and off, which is like a good thing, but also a bad thing, because, you know, when you're putting the stroller, like let's say you're loading it into your car, you could easily lose that cup holder. And if the cup holder's on, you can only lay the stroller wagon a certain way, like on its, when it's on its side, which is the way that we store it in our trunk. So that was just like a little bit of con. So I end up just leaving it off most of the time anyway, unless I feel like I'm really gonna need it, so I'll remember to bring it or something, you know? The canopies that come with this model, while the canopies themselves are great canopies, they don't fold down. There's no way to kind of store them when the wagon is folded, except for upright and just like that. So when the canopies are in, they do not fit in our car. They do not fit in the trunk. There is zero way that it would fit. So they always have to be removed. And it's such a bother. And so that's kind of gonna segue me into the accessories portion, but because there's a couple of things that in the accessories category are also cons. So I'll kind of, let's just flow into that. But anyway, yeah, so the sun canopies, while they are great canopies, I do end up just keeping them off like 90% of the time. Only if I think I'm truly gonna need it, will I just pack it up in the trunk with us and take it. So, okay, so we're going to, like I said, we're gonna segue into accessories. The first thing is just piggybacking off of the canopies. Larktale recently released a sun topper. Now, it basically is, if you've ever seen like the Wonderfold wagon, it looks just like that. It is a nice canopy with a like a movable fabric shade, whatever we want to call it. And it's nice because you can actually fold down the frame. So that way, if you fold up your wagon, you can actually fold down the canopy and take it with you just like that. Like, what a freaking dream. So like this, I was so excited when I saw this show up. I think I saw it on their Instagram first, or maybe on their website. I don't know. I saw it somewhere first and I was like, oh my God, I had to get it. It sold out so quick. And luckily it came back in stock. I think it's still in stock now. But yeah, that was a game changer. Game changer. Now I will say you need to read the instructions very well, because I think I almost broke mine because I was a little too excited again, but it's so perfect. And this, I guess, is a little, should I go into it now? Ooh. We'll come back because I have a little bit more to add about the sun canopy and I'm excited to share it. But anyway, so another accessory that would be wonderful but doesn't really work well is their snack tray attachment. So I did end up buying the snack tray attachment because I wanted to test it out and I was really hoping that it would work. So on the one hand, it's nice because you can use it with like the canopies or even like the sun topper, but you cannot fold it when the snack tray is in. So the snack tray always has to come out. So that's a downside. So you'd have to like physically bring that with you unless you were never planning to fold up the stroller wagon at all. The second con with the snack tray is that it's too tall. Like where it sits is too tall for my toddler. So any young toddler will not be able to reach it. The one nice thing about it is that it does come with another little cup holder, like the same one that's on the outside of the wagon, but it's nice because it's on the inside and I could actually use that. There are pockets like on like the siding of the wagon where you could put like drinks like toddler cups and stuff, but it's nice to have like an actual cup holder. So that's the one plus with like the two cons, you know? But either way, I think it'll be a nice attachment to use when my girl is older and she can actually reach in herself to grab snacks out of it, because it's a nice container. It has like a locking lid, and yeah, it would be nice when we can actually use it. Okay, so another kind of accessory that I added on to, just for comfort, is a little stroller like cushion. It's just like an extra layer of cushioning on the seat, because the seat, I don't know, like I can't test the comfort, but it was okay, but I felt like it could be better in terms of just comfort for my daughter. So I just bought like a stroller seat cover. I don't know what you would call it, but it just literally like goes in through the harness, and it's there. So it's just nice little comfort. And then also, you know, if there were any like spills or accidents, it just kind of gives a little extra protection to the seat. That's one of the accessories that I've added on. Another accessory that's not necessarily on the wagon, but that we use, is a laptop table tray. Now I found this one that's folding from Amazon, and it doesn't even have like a lid you can open and close, and fits perfectly inside of the wagon. So it gives her a nice little tabletop. That is so good to have. So it's like when we're even just like strolling through like Costco or something, It's so nice because she has a nice table, like she can like do her activities, she can, you know, have a snack, you can do this, that, whatever. It was, so that's like the one thing that's truly missing in terms of like accessories for this wagon, is like some sort of middle, like snack tray attachment, middle section table. I don't know what you want to call it, but this laptop table is working perfectly for us, and it fits nice and snug, so it doesn't like move around a ton. And for now, especially the size that my toddler is, it'll be great. Okay, so going back to the sun topper, I found a couple of hacks on YouTube from the channel Autumn Approved, and I will link that channel down below if you're interested, because I believe she does like a ton of like stroller wagon reviews, and like she has like a bunch of hacks and like things like that. So I mean, this is where I saw it, so I don't know if she came up with it, but maybe she came up with it. You know, like those car seat covers that you use as like a newborn, and that also doubles as like a breastfeeding cover or like whatever kind of thing. It's just like, it looks like a little like cape, and then there's like a hole at a small hole at the top, and then a bigger hole at the bottom. It's like nice stretchy material. Well, if you cut off like, I don't know, like I forget how many inches, but enough where the rest of the material is even, you can use that as extra shade on the canopy, because you could just slide it on over the bars and it moves the same way the sun topper does. This is amazing because one, it's not permanent, so you don't need to keep it on there all the time if you don't need it. But two, it's just, if you just need a little bit more shade, it's like an easy way to do it. And because you can fold it up so small, it's not a huge burden to bring. Or just keep on there too, because it's the same way. If you need to fold and unfold, it'll fold down the same way. So that has been huge. It's so nice because it just gives a little bit more shade, especially during the summer months, which is right now. So it is, yes. And then the second hack that I learned from the same channel, Autumn Approved, is when your child is in the seat, like buckled in, let's say, and they happen to fall asleep, or maybe it's just like super sunny, like from like this angle or something. If you use just one of those like universal stroller covers, like stroller shade covers, it attaches on to this wagon so well, because it just attaches along the bar with magnets. There's like tie loops, you can tie it in wherever you need to, and when you recline, you're like fully mesh shaded, and it's so nice, so nice. And if you don't need to use it, if you have no use for it, it folds up and it has a little bag attached. You can just fold it right up, stuff it in the bag, hook it on somewhere here, there, just toss it somewhere. Such a good hack. So those are the two really good hacks. And you know what, my laptop table tray, that's a pretty good hack too, so just saying. The final conclusion to all of this. Do I regret getting this Larktale caravan stroller wagon? No, and I'll tell you why. Yes, it is quite large, and I think it's because at this stage in our lives, we only have one child, and you know, if we decide to have more children, I think it'll be a perfect way to kind of be that like in the interim where we need something to hold more than one kid, but you know, one kid's a little bit older, and like, is it worth investing in the double stroller, like all those things. But right now in this stage that we're at, it is quite large, and because it is so large, it is very cumbersome to bring around, and it's heavy, and you know, it's not like this super easy thing. But I do actually love this stroller wagon, and for the right situations, it's perfect. Like, it's so perfect, and I think that's why I just love it so much, because I think what I imagined using it for, it has been great, amazing. Now, if I could go back and maybe I would have gotten a compact stroller wagon if I had thought about actually traveling with it. Yeah, maybe, but you know what? Or could I have waited until we actually needed a stroller wagon this big? Yeah, I could have done that too, but I'm happy with this. I really like the stroller wagon. Like I said, it's beautiful, it's well made, it handles well, And especially with these like new accessories and attachments that Larktale is coming out with, it's making it better. So like the sun topper was a huge improvement, and I'm hoping that they come out with even more, you know, accessories or something to make the overall experience better and more seamless and all that good stuff. In conclusion, yeah, I do not regret it. I love my stroller wagon. I would recommend this for larger families with larger kids, and you know, just really consider like what you want to use a stroller wagon for before purchasing, and that way that can kind of help you decide, because there are going to be pros and cons with anything that you buy, but hopefully, you know, in the end the pros outweigh the cons and it makes it worth it in the end. All right, so that is the end of my very honest review of this Larktale Caravan stroller wagon. I hope, you know, you got some, whether it was part of the hacks or, you know, if you just needed some feedback, you needed someone's, you know, honest review, you needed to make a decision, whatever it is, I hope I helped you in some way. And I thank you for watching this video. Like I said, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Just loving